Okay, Sniggle, it's time to celebrate. Celebrate. Oh boy. Make sure we don't cover up my microphone. It's okay. It's okay. Do you think he'll stand on the... I should put like a board here. No.
Sniggle doesn't want to be a part of your birthday.
You have to be part of the birthday. No! Hey everybody, it's Lauren from Hot for Food, and guess what? Today we're celebrating my birthday. Woo! Today's not my birthday, but Friday is, so today would be when I post a video. So we're making it birthday themed. And the way we're gonna do that is by me being alone, making my own cake. How sad. I'm just kidding. I wanted to use my birthday as an excuse to make a awesome, fancy cake. One that you can make for your birthday, for someone else's birthday, for the holidays. It's a cake that my mom used to make when we were growing up. I think she got the recipe from a friend. So it's a true, like, you know, homegrown idea. It's called a hazelnut torte. It's basically a 4-layer hazelnut cake with a coffee buttercream in the layers and then a coconut mocha whip on top. It's so good. I could sell this cake for a lot of money. It's epic. So I'm gonna show you how to make it. It's not exactly the easiest recipe, but once you get the hang of baking, which I know a lot of you have, you'll be fine. And I'm gonna show you every single step. And we're gonna start by taking the skins off of some hazelnuts. Now I've pre-roasted my hazelnuts, okay? You don't want to blend the skin into the cake mix because it will make it bitter. So I'll just, once you roast them, there's a trick to getting the skins off, and I'm gonna show you right now what that is. For this whole recipe, you're gonna roast 2 cups of hazelnuts. You're gonna take the roasted nuts and place them on a clean tea towel and then just sort of like rub them together. Gather the ends of the towel, rub all the skins off. So you'll see by doing this that a lot of the skin just falls right off. So you have very clean roasted hazelnuts. Just keep doing it till most of it's gone. So just try not to get any of the skin in this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pulse these in a food processor until they're basically a flour. Okay, so the thing that makes this batter extra special is there is aquafaba in it. The original recipe that my mom made has 4 eggs and then very little flour. So it's like a flourless cake almost. So it's really light and airy. But in order to achieve this in a vegan way, we're gonna use aquafaba, which is the bean water from chickpeas or navy beans or whatever, and you whip it into basically egg whites or meringue. It's the same as egg whites, it's crazy. So you can use raw chickpeas that you've cooked, just save that water, or you can use a can, as I am doing today, just for ease. So you drain these out and then you can save your chickpeas for salad or hummus or whatever. And that nasty little water in there is magical and turns into egg whites for us. And I basically did the equivalent of 4 eggs with aquafaba, which is 12 tablespoons. It's kind of like 3 tablespoons of aquafaba is 1 whole egg, both the yolk and the whites. So when you see the chickpea brine, it does look like egg whites. It's the same viscosity, you know? A 19-ounce can of chickpeas should give you what you need for this, but just ensure you're making 3/4 of a cup. That's exactly what you need to start with for this recipe, so just measure it out properly. 1/4, 2/4. It's exactly 3/4 of a cup. There's like a little bit left, just discard that. Now the other trick is making sure it's cold. So I placed it in the freezer for like 10 minutes. You can leave it in the fridge overnight and just have it ready to go, but it needs to be chilled before you whip it. This cake batter is a cup of the hazelnut flour, and then all-purpose flour. It's 3/4 of a cup and 2 tablespoons. 3/4 of a cup of sugar, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. So just combine all of the dry ingredients together and then set it aside. And when we beat the aquafaba into meringue, that's when we're gonna fold that in, and it's gonna make the really light and fluffy cake batter. You're gonna do 2 of these. You're not gonna double it at once, you're gonna make it again, because this is only for 2 layers and we're making 4 layers. You don't wanna double the recipe all at once because it won't work the same. You have to do 2 separate batches for 2 layers each. So I have 8-inch cake pans, that's what you want. If they're 7, that's fine, but don't go too wide. Don't go wider than 8 inches because the layers will be too thin. And then to prepare the cake pans, you're gonna use vegan shortening or vegan butter and just grease them with a layer of the shortening or the butter. So I just take a chunk and I rub it around with my hand like this. You have to do this or the cake's gonna stick. It's a very delicate cake. Even if you have non-stick pans, still do this just to be safe. So do that to both pans, and then you will have traced, I already did this, but you trace a circle of parchment paper the same size as the bottom of the pan, and then just lay that on the bottom. And it'll stick to the shortening. And this will help the cake slide out very easily when it's all baked. My aquafaba has chilled in the freezer for about 8 minutes. My freezer's quite cold. Just keep an eye on it. You don't want it to get frozen or have ice chips in it, but it should be very chilled. It's best to do this in a glass bowl, not a metal bowl. And then have ready vanilla extract, cream of tartar, and vegetable oil. And we're gonna whip this for about 8 to 10 minutes. So beat it with a hand mixer or in your stand mixer until it gets nice and foamy, but still quite liquidy. Once it gets foamy like that, that's when we're gonna add cream of tartar, which is gonna stabilize it and help it beat up a little thicker. And continue beating for another 3 to 4 minutes until you get kind of stiff peaks. See how it's sort of holding its shape? This is where you can add the vanilla and continue whipping while you drizzle in the vegetable oil. And then you'll start to see it really comes together. It looks glossy, it's a lot stiffer, and it's pretty much quadrupled in size. So add the dry ingredients into your meringue, and now fold it together until it's just combined, but do not overmix this. A spatula is key for this. You just want to do kind of big folds. You're folding it together so you're not losing too much air that you've whipped into the meringue. Now divide this into the 2 cake pans and spread it out to the edges. Well, as with everything, you will have preheated your oven because that's what you need to do. It needs to be exactly at 350. You're gonna bake these together on the middle rack for 20 minutes. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Lauren, I'm lazy. I'm just gonna make a 2-layer cake. Well, let me tell you, a 2-layer hazelnut torte is not correct. It needs to be 4 layers. The layers are like the perfect thinness for a 4-layer cake. If you do 2 layers, it's gonna look really puny and flat. It's not going to be as impressive when you walk into your friend's house or your family's house and going, hey, I brought the cake. It's not gonna look as good. It's gonna be this flat little thing. So you need to do 4 layers, just trust me on this. And you really cannot make any modifications to this recipe. I actually wanted to show you the recipe. So I modified my mom's recipe. They scanned it from her old little cookbook where she handwrite the recipes so you can see her calligraphy and then you can see her handwriting. So that is what they scanned to me from my parents' house, and I was like, this is what I want to make for my birthday, because I remember eating this when I got a little bit older, like when I was a teenager or something. It wasn't obviously a child-friendly cake because there's like coffee and hazelnuts and it's a little fancy, but I remember we would make it for everyone's birthday, my dad's birthday, my sister's birthday, my mom's birthday, my birthday. So anyway, I just have a lot of memories about the taste of this cake, and it's so good, you're gonna die. Okay, so the 2 layers are done baking. They look perfect. I already had 2 pre-made because you don't need to watch me do that again. So I'm gonna show you how to take this out of the cake pan. Do 1 at a time. It's very easy. Just to be safe, take a little thin spatula like this and just, move it out from the edge just in case. It already should have come away from the edge. And then we just flip it upside down. Hit it, maybe. There you go. Ooh. And that's how you bake, people. We're just gonna make some instant coffee for the filling, so I'm using instant espresso powder and 3 tablespoons of water. You could also brew strong coffee or use homemade espresso, whatever you wanna do. You just need the coffee. It really adds to the flavor of the whole cake. All right, now we're gonna whip softened vegan butter. So take your softened butter, add a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and start whipping it with a hand mixer. So just whip it till it's smooth like that. Then you're gonna gradually add powdered sugar and the liquid a little bit at a time. You'll just need to push the sides down with a spatula as you go to make sure everything gets well combined. So that's about the consistency you want. So it's not as thick as a traditional buttercream, it's a little looser. It's easy enough to just ice it all here and then clean up the edges on the cake serving tray or whatever you're gonna use. Okay, so let's begin. Carefully take a layer and you wanna go top side down, trying to get it centered here. So top side down for the first layer. Then add some of our filling. This you will divide into thirds. Now the reason it's a little looser than a normal frosting is because it does soak in a bit to the cake, but it also, you'll see the layers when we cut it. Now go bottom side down. There we go. Any dripping down the side, don't worry about it, just spread it into the side of the cake. We're gonna cover this with the mocha coconut whip anyways. And then add your last layer on top. Now it should be pretty even. If it's not, that'll all get fixed when you do the whip. You can pretty much even it out. All right, now I would refrigerate this just to get the filling a little bit more solid because there is vegan butter in there. It will stiffen up just slightly. And while it's refrigerating, you can make the mocha coconut whip. So I have my cans, my favorite cans of coconut cream. You wanna leave them in the fridge. You need a lot. You need 2 3/4 cups of coconut cream. So whip it until it gets more airy and has more volume and it's really smooth. Then you can add your powdered sugar, your cocoa powder, and your vanilla, and whip it for a couple more minutes till it's nice and fluffy. There's the vegan hazelnut torte. Oh my God, that's my birthday cake. Are you excited, Snickle? I tried to bring Snickle to celebrate, but he's really scared. I know, just sit like a good kitty. Yes, there. No, don't leave. Come on. Oh, bye. Well, there's cat hair everywhere. That was a stupid idea. Oh well, anyways, this is for my birthday, but honestly, this cake is going to be good for any holiday, any celebration, anything you want to do, or maybe you just want cake, I don't know. Holy fuck. It's exactly the same as the one I ate growing up. The selling feature is it doesn't taste vegan. It's a real cake. Mmm. It's friggin' ridiculous, this cake. I swear to God, I could charge like, I don't know, $100 for this cake or something. I don't even know what cakes cost. Okay, There it is. I hope you love this one. A lot of time and love has gone into this recipe. I mean, it goes into all my recipes, but this one in particular because it is from my childhood. Thanks to my mom for the recipe. She hasn't even tried the vegan version. Anyway, yeah, leave me a birthday wish in the comments. Like, why not? Let's get like the most comments ever on this video and the most thumbs ups. Subscribe to the channel because I'm here every Wednesday cooking, sometimes baking, always cooking up vegan love. The little button is down there in the corner of the screen. Also, check all the links in the description for the recipe. A link to pre-order my cookbook. A link to like my Amazon shop that shows you all the tools and all the things that I use in the Hot for Food kitchen that you can own yourself. And also a link to our merch shop online at hotforfoodblog.com. Okay, if you make this, I wanna see pics, I wanna see Insta stories. Make sure you tag at Hot for Food. And I'm going to Miami for my birthday to the Seed Food and Wine Festival. So if you're there, I will see you there. And that's it for me. Bye, love you all.